Today we're at the Horticulture Research Center at Lane, Oklahoma. And if you want to get out your map and look where Lane is, it's down in the southeast part of the state, a little bit east of Atoka. And today we're going to be talking to Vince Russo about some pepper research. Hi, Vince.
Good morning, afternoon.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Can you tell me a little bit about what you're working on with this experiment?
These are jalapeno type peppers that have a special quality to them in that a lot of them do not have any capsaicin or any of the material that creates heat in the pepper.
So it's a cool jalapeno.
Or that's one way to specify it. It has use in processing procedures because when you make a jalapeno dip, a salsa dip, if you can add the capsaicin or the hot material later, then you can make your mild and your mediums and your hot jalapeno dips.
So you have more control over the hotness.
Right, the producer has, yes.
Okay. There are several studies you have in this.
In this particular plot, we're looking at several different variables. First of all, there are different cultivars. Some of them produce at a higher rate or maybe better suited for the area. We're also looking at fertilizer levels and whether or not one or two plants at a particular site where they're planted has any effect on actual production.
Can you kind of show me what you mean about plants at one site?
Sure, let's see if we can find here. If you'll notice, this is one plant per site. And over here at this location, you'll notice that there are 2 plants per site. And the way we did this was in our speedling trays, that is our transplant trays, we put enough seed so that we'd have 2 plants at that one site. And when we planted them, there were 2 there as opposed to coming back later and sticking 2 together.
Okay.
All of these are mechanically transplanted, by the way.
Oh, okay.
And they are all designed for mechanical harvesting. That means a once-over harvest. There's a benefit to that in that you have fewer trips through the field. It's really not so much a reduction in labor because you still need the labor to separate the plants later on, the good ones from the bad ones. Or in this case, the producer has a specific requirement in that the caps or the tops of the peppers, let me show you what I mean here, have to be off the pepper during production. So, and you'll notice they come off pretty easily. This particular pepper has been genetically bred to do that.
So that would be pretty hard for a machine to do.
That would be very hard for a machine to do, yes. Because there's no way for it. It can grab the pepper, but it can't grab the stem in all cases and easily remove that. Another thing we might want to concern, and perhaps I should call on you to do the testing there if you'll trust me, in that this one is the one that does not have any heat.
This is the cool jalapeno.
This is the cool jalapeno.
And you're sure about that?
I'm sure about that.
Okay.
I think. At any rate, when you take a bite out of a jalapeno, you don't bite from the top because most of the seeds are in the top third or half of the jalapeno or any other particular pepper, and that's where the capsaicin is.
In the seed.
Yes, in the seed. As you get to the bottom of the pepper, all you have is flesh, and there's no heat in that part of it. So if you'll go ahead and take a bite out of it.
I'm really trusting you on this. Okay.
Oh no!
It's cool. It's not hot at all.
No, it's not hot at all.
Very good. And the big producer?
The big producer in the area is located at Paris, Texas. It's Campbell's Soup, who maybe some of your people know have purchased Pace Picante sauce. And they're the ones that are now running the peppers and tomatoes and onions and all the other components through their production lines at Paris, as opposed to where they were in San Antonio. And the reason for that is their business, and I don't really understand it, but it's there now, so that makes us have a particular advantage since we don't have to transport quite as far. From Lane to Paris is about an hour and a half. The roads are fairly good, and that means that if you'll note, because we took the top off that pepper, we did some damage to it. And if Campbell's or Pace is transporting this from their production areas, which are outside of Oklahoma, a fair distance, by the time they get the peppers from their harvest area to their production area, they've had a degree of loss, sometimes as high as 10 to 15%.
Okay.
So that even if we do that damage and are an hour and a half away, then the producer is going to have more marketable fruit that Campbell's is going to be able to use.
So it's big advantage for the growers in Oklahoma.
It's a big advantage for the growers. Well, not only Oklahoma, primarily Oklahoma, but North Texas also.
All right.
Sure.
Well, thank you very much, Vince. I sure appreciate your time.
Quite well.
We hope you've enjoyed this classic from the Oklahoma Gardening Vault. Remember, even though these tips and techniques are timeless, there's always something new to learn in the world of gardening. By subscribing to both Oklahoma Gardening and OK Gardening Classics, you'll have access to a wealth of gardening knowledge, both classic and contemporary.